right, so we went to go see Oppenheimer.
Yep.
We participated in Barbieheimer. It definitely lived up to the hype.
Yeah, definitely.
So now what we're going to talk about is our experience. So check this. A few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Let me get some tickets for Mission Impossible in advance because I want the best seats in the house.
Right.
Everybody know the best seats in the house is going to be in the dead center.
Yeah.
That's where the audio engineers, that's how they mix the audio.
Yeah.
I never get a chance to get those seats unless it's just a dead theater and we can just sit anywhere, right? So I was like, okay, I don't be on it this time. So got into my app. I have Regal Unlimited. Go see any amount of movies I want. Pay $23, $25 a month,
right? Which
is good because I see a lot of movies. Okay, go into the app, and I got Mission Impossible tickets. They was almost impossible to get, so I said, well, let me take a look at Barbie and let me take a look at Oppenheimer really fast. And I found out that Nashville only got 2 IMAX screens here, right?
Yeah,
packed.
Yeah,
everything was packed. So then I began to startle because I was like, oh my gosh, we may not be able to participate in Barbieheimer. Right. And as a filmmaker, as a cinephile, that is so important to me, right? Yeah. So I get the Mission Impossible tickets. I said, thank you, Jesus. We didn't get our Oppenheimer tickets, the day before or the day after it came out?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And it was a miracle.
Right.
The thing is, though, we had to drive 40 minutes away from where we live to go see Oppenheimer.
Yep.
At 11 p.m. at night.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Right.
Haven't been to an 11 p.m. movie since I was in my early 20s, okay? I was dead tired.
Yeah, definitely.
But I had to go see Oppenheimer that weekend. We had to do the double feature. We had to participate in Barbieheimer.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was fun.
Right, yeah.
So that was our first experience was like, oh, shoot. We need to hurry and get some tickets and stop playing.
Right.
You guys wasn't playing when it came out Oppenheimer. That's crazy. You guys was not playing at all.
It was packed in there, yeah.
And I couldn't see it in any other. I need to see it the way Christopher Nolan intended it to be seen, which is in IMAX and standard definition. All the other theaters, it wasn't. I couldn't do it. Right.
Definitely.
So we got there 11 p.m. Our first time at this movie theater. It was beautiful. It was big. The chairs was comfy.
Yeah.
And the screen was humongous.
Right.
It was an experience for sure. Just being out at 11 p.m. at night. Gosh, I'm boring. But it felt good to be out there late. But also, we got back home what time?
Almost 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning.
Yeah. Because the movie's 3 hours, 3.5 hours long, something like that.
And crazy thing is, Chris is like, well, I'm going to get popcorn. He was like, I didn't want popcorn for Barbie because with Barbie, I think we just ate lunch and we were just so full.
Right.
But with Oppenheimer, 11 p.m. at night, we got popcorn, got water, sat down, and it was packed out. And we had a blast watching Oppenheimer on the big screen.
Right. Yeah.
So we're just going to move forward, right?
We're gonna get into the movie?
We're going to get into the movie. No, before we get into the movie, we'll get into our experience. So the seats was nice.
Right.
Screen was big as hell. It was packed out with everybody.
Right.
I didn't see a lot of older people at this one. Probably because it was 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Everybody was enjoying the movie. It was a great experience to see everybody anticipate the moment when the bomb was going to go off.
Right.
That was fun. But everybody who was there, they was locked in. Okay? When I looked around, I didn't see nobody. I didn't see none of that.
Yeah, no,
Everybody was locked in.
There wasn't a peep out of anybody.
There wasn't a peep.
Yeah.
Popcorn was good. Popcorn's always good at the movies, though.
Right.
Extra butter for me, though. That's how I like my popcorn, y'all.
Yeah.
If you ever want to, buy me some popcorn, it's kind of expensive, but
yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump to the movie. So Oppenheimer, what did you think about it?
Yeah, Oppenheimer was pretty good. It was about what I expected. I thought it was gonna be like this slow burn history type of movie, and that's pretty much exactly what it was. But since it came from Christopher Nolan, it hit its mark. You could tell what he was going into, and he completely knocked it out of the park. So it's not my type of movie, but I do think that it's worth seeing.
You appreciate it for what it is. But it's
exactly.
Not your type of
it's
movie.
just not my cup of tea, right? Exactly.
I understand that, and every movie isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
Oppenheimer. To be honest, I didn't have no interest in the subject matter whatsoever.
Right.
When he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do a movie about Oppenheimer," I was like, "Oh, okay."
We were confused.
Yeah, because he was coming from Tenet,
right,
which was like an action, fast pace, cool.
Right.
Then you went to Oppenheimer. Not saying Oppenheimer wasn't cool, but I thought he was going to stay on the trajectory.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Trajectory.
Yeah.
Got it. I thought he was going to stay on the trajectory Got it 2 times in a row. So that's the first for me. And of action movies, or, you know, these high concept action movies, but he didn't. But, you know, one thing I can say about Oppenheimer, Chris, he didn't have no interest in going to see from the jump. Yeah. We just going to be honest, right? Yeah. But we're filmmakers. We have to go see these movies in theaters. Right. We have to go study our craft. Exactly, right. And we have to just go enjoy cinema and remind ourselves what made us fall in love with movies in the first place. Yeah, exactly. Me, on the other hand, I enjoy Oppenheimer. It was a cinema's dream. Yeah. Like, for sure. The craft. Yeah. This movie was handled with so much care. Yeah, the cinematography was like out of this world. Cinematography was amazing. The acting, everything. It was no shortcuts. It was so much craft and care put into this movie. Yeah, and as a filmmaker, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, because it inspired me to make sure. Well, I do it anyways. Whenever I do a movie, guys, I put my all into it. Doesn't matter how big, how small, who in it, who's not in it, who support it, who don't support it. I always make sure I give it my all and put everything on the floor. Yeah. One, because it's so hard to make a movie. Right. It's so damn hard to make a good movie. Right. And even if your movie is good or bad, it's still going to be difficult. Yeah, definitely. So why not just? It's a lot of work regardless. It's going to be a lot of work regardless. So why not just put your best efforts forward? Right. But for me, I really enjoy Oppenheimer. Yeah. Definitely enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to rewatch it. I'm probably going to rewatch it just to make sure I understand the story completely, the details and different things like that. Right. Definitely enjoyed it. Kudos to Christopher Nolan. It was a great moment in history for cinema altogether with Barbieheimer. This was the 4th largest weekend ever. In history. 4th largest. That's crazy. Especially since the pandemic, right? Right. And I believe this was the best opening rated R movie since Joker. Todd Phillips' Joker. Okay. So a lot of history. 2019? 2019. Okay. So a lot of history got made. So I guess we're just going to jump into what we didn't like about Oppenheimer, what we did like, and just continue to talk about this beautiful movie, because it's a beautiful piece of art. It's a beautiful piece of cinema. Right. The 70 millimeter. Oh God, I hope I can make it to the point in my career I can shoot something on IMAX. IMAX, yeah, definitely. After Dusk got to get shot on IMAX. It will look amazing. Right. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with you. Like, what were some things you didn't like about the movie? Yeah, one of the things I didn't really like was just the length. Like, I feel like if it was me and I was the one directing, which, you know, as you can see, is probably the reason why I'm not, because I'm not Christopher Nolan, I'm Christopher Smith. I definitely would have cut some of that stuff out. Yeah. The love interest he had with Jean, like, I understood what the purpose of it was, but you know, wasn't that real? It was adapted from a book. But so. I'm just saying, like, kind of the way it was worked in, it just wasn't for me. I kind of felt like it was a little gimmicky, especially with like the nudity. You know, there was way more nudity. Has he ever even had this much nudity? I'm not sure. In a movie? But you know, I love nudity. I mean, I don't have a problem. I love nudity, but as long as nudity is done the correct way and pushes the story along, I'm all for it. And that's what I'm saying. You know? Like, for me, it felt a tad gimmicky. So that was one of the things that kind of like just put me off. How did it feel gimmicky? You had to explain yourself so people can understand. It felt to me like watching Cillian Murphy sit there with his legs crossed, completely butt naked. But we didn't see. Well, hold on. Just for the purpose, huh? We just saw his legs and chest. They didn't show anything else. But he's still butt naked. You know what you're looking at. But you know what I'm saying? Legs and chest. Regardless, he's booty butt naked. The girl was too. It doesn't matter. Nothing was shown explicit. Yeah, I mean, it's not about whether or not it's explicit. What I'm trying to say is, it's the fact that it felt like it was for the purpose of just drawing you back in? Because you know everybody wanted to see a half naked Cillian Murphy, not half naked. Yeah, and Florence Pugh. You know, like Florence Pugh. I'm not even that familiar with her, but I do know she's an up and coming actor. She worked with Greta before. I know her name more than I know who she is. Like, I don't know her because of her work. I just know her because of her celebrity status. If that makes sense. Right. Yeah. But it just felt to me like it was just for the purpose of like just trying to reel you back in. I had no problem with that. Him sitting there reading the newspaper, because you got to think in those times, what was they? They didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah, it is what the 40s.
It probably was accurate as hell. That man was sitting there reading it. He's older, sitting there reading the newspaper.
Smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
What
definitely.
else they have to do? But I definitely understand your point of view, because I even said the sex scene. With the wife when he was talking about his affair and the wife was in there. That was funny. I definitely get that choice as well. It was funny, but I was like, man, they cracking me up. Right? I couldn't take it serious. It just
I couldn't take it serious either. It took me. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it took me out
because I started cracking up.
But like you said, I understood what he was saying, but it was like
because I feel like every woman will envision that.
Every person, because a guy would do the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So. It took me out because I thought it was funny, but at the same time, I was like, that's real, because you would be sitting there like...
No, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Visualizing your man to be with another woman. That's painful. So, what are some things you did like about Oppenheimer?
What I really loved was the sound design. The sound design was so immersive, especially the scene when they are preparing to drop the bomb. The sound design, actually, when the bomb went off, everything, the sound design was the choices.
Really sold it.
Yeah, it's what really, we both know that sound is ultimately half of the cinematic experience. I love
sound. So I love sound more than video.
You could tell that they really took a lot of time, not just to pick the right sounds and mix it properly, but to have the right choices in the sounds that they
probably
use.
had to develop the sound. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
how they did with Star Wars,
exactly,
the OG. You never know. But the sound design was amazing. The editing was amazing.
Yeah.
I really. The editor was a woman, by the way. So shout out to her.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, it was a woman.
Cool.
But the sound design and editing was really good because one thing was making movies, you can be off just by an inch and then boom, there goes your movie, or boom, there goes that scene just because you didn't edit it correctly.
Or the pacing.
And we have a lot of birds out.
Is it?
They look are those red robins?
I think so,
They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
But the editing was amazing. The pacing in the beginning for me was a little too long because it's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Oppie is that guy. He's smart. He's intelligent.
Yeah.
He's like a science guru, rock star. Got it.
I think that's what it was for me too. Like, it felt like it was an hour per arc.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it just feels like it's a little too long.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could have got the same thing across in like 30 minutes or less.
Right.
That's just how I feel.
Maybe not 30 minutes because it is a biopic, but a little shorter.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
I would definitely say. Oh wait, are you done? Did you say everything?
For what I didn't like, that's about it. Yeah.
What about you? Said you did like the sound. What else did you like?
Let's see, what else did I really like? I really love the acting. Everybody killed it from top to bottom. That whole cast, and they had probably spent half the budget on the cast. They had everybody and their mama in that movie.
Everybody in that movie.
But it was money well spent. Yeah, it was money well spent because
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Will Ferrell wasn't this, but the cast did a stellar job at acting all around.
Yeah.
It was so important for them to make sure they hit those beats, and that was like, as a director, if you don't know, guys probably don't know me. I love actors. I appreciate them. I respect them.
Yeah.
What they do, how they have to go out and perform in front of everybody and be vulnerable. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And Cillian Murphy, I've been hearing so much about this guy. Never seen anything where he's been the lead and the actor. I've seen him in Inception, and I know of him.
Oh wait, he was in Inception?
Yeah. He was in
didn't even pay
Inception, The
attention.
Dark Knight. This isn't his first movie with Nolan, but it's his first movie as a lead.
Right, okay.
But I've been hearing about this show called Peaky Blinders.
Right.
Everybody has been saying, you guys got to watch Peaky Blinders. Haven't got the chance to watch it, but because I saw his performance in this movie, I'm probably going to start Peaky Blinders either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
His performance was amazing. Nothing was forced. It was so natural, so subtle, but yet he knew how to command a screen.
Right.
That, my friends, is a masterclass in acting.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're not even going to jump into Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think his name already says enough. Like, we know who he is.
Right.
He was Iron Man.
Been acting for, 30, 40 years?
Exactly,
Since
right.
the teen.
But he completely killed it. Like,
killed it.
You know an actor is amazing when you've already seen them in a whole bunch of other things and you're used to seeing, like, him as Iron Man. And then he comes into this movie and he's still somebody else. Like I didn't see
Iron
Robert
Man.
Downey. Exactly. I didn't see Robert Downey Jr. I didn't see Iron Man. And part of it's because, they didn't de-age him.
They did.
but you could just really tell he put a lot into that.
He killed it, man.
Yeah.
He really killed it. Same.
Right.
Subtle. Powerful. Command the screen.
Right.
Nobody was overacting. Nobody over the top. He was the villain.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. I hate when you see a villain, unless it depends on what type of movie it is, right? And you see a villain and they're like, oh, I'm a villain. Like, no, I like villains like Thor, Joker. I like, Joker is kind of over the top.
When was Thor the villain?
Not Thor, God.
Thanos?
Thanos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so that Robert Downey Jr., he put his foot in this performance.
Yeah.
Deserves an Oscar. Really. Like, best supporting something. He got to win.
Yeah, for sure.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Also, the black and white.
Oh, yeah, the black and white.
The black and white was stunning.
Was
it looks like a silver fox on the screen. I heard that they actually developed that film stock for this movie.
It specifically, yeah.
Woo! It was beautiful.
It was crazy.
I love the editing back and forth. It did kind of remind me of Memento, except for I don't know if this one met up in the middle. I had to go back and rewatch it.
It did.
It did?
It did, yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
That writing.
The writing.
That's hard to do.
is really what showed to me the genius of Christopher Nolan.
Technicality.
Yeah, it really came out in the writing.
Everybody can go write a script like that and then go execute it.
Exactly.
Because okay, you wrote it. Okay, fine it, Danny.
Right.
Oh, you want to direct and produce it? Now it's time for execution.
Exactly.
Now it's time for you to really
actually show your vision, because it's all
vision. Show your vision and show your work, right?
Yeah.
So many people I know who have a good idea who don't know how to execute.
Yeah, man.
So many people who got a poor idea, but they do know how to execute.
Right.
But in order for you to be successful, you have to bring those. You got to have both.
You got to have both.
And for somebody to be able to tackle a story like this in the way they did it,
right,
and the way they executed it.
Yep.
Everybody know Christopher Nolan is one of the GOATs.
Yeah, basically.
He just one of the GOATs. Everybody can't do it, man.
No, everybody can't. Everybody can't write and direct and produce. And if he acted in it, that would have been crazy.
Or just write the way he did, like the script, to make sure it has a meaningful impact. Because, like, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but one of my favorite scenes was the ending.
Exactly.
With
the ending
Albert
was great.
Einstein. The ending was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we said all those scenes, like, it was kind of dragged, but at the end of the day, it caught my attention. And then at the end, I set up, I was like, oh, shoot.
No, the ending was so powerful. It was everything was
very powerful.
It was cathartic. It brought the themes all home.
The themes all home. Had us questioning.
Yeah, exactly.
Had me scared. Everybody got nukes now.
Exactly.
It's not a race to get the first one.
Yeah, no, everybody got them, so yeah.
They could drop them anytime they want.
Exactly.
I love the themes and the questions and the inner and outer conflict that the main character endured.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I think in that position, you would have done the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
For your country.
Which making the bomb or
making that bomb?
Yeah. I can see that.
It was just a tough position.
In World War II, you got to think like genocide is going on, and then you're like, oh, they about to make a nuke.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta.
Anybody in that position, you would have done the same thing because, like, if we didn't do it first, somebody else was going to have that power over us, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But that was the conflict. Another one of my scenes from the movie is like after they did do the bomb, and after they did the bomb, he has to address the community because they built this whole little town in Mexico.
Yeah.
He had to address the community, and it weighed so much on his heart. He couldn't even really celebrate it. It's like he was almost disgusted with himself and what they just did.
Right, yeah.
And then he started envisioning
the people burning
and
being vaporized.
The true effect that the bomb is going to have on people.
Exactly.
That was a powerful scene.
It was.
Sound design, really, woo. I love that sound design in that scene. He walked in, definitely. Everybody's feet.
Right.
And it was just so powerful, and you really got to be inside of his head at that moment.
Sure.
So that was a powerful scene. Another one of my favorite scenes is obviously when the bomb dropped.
Oh,
all of the anticipation and tension.
The tension was so good in that scene.
It was so good.
They built it perfectly.
They was building tension. Like, this movie made sure with the music, like, hey, this is a serious movie, and the stakes are high.
Exactly.
This is not a low stake. No, the stakes are up here. So they made sure they let the audience know that right away.
Right.
Because, like, I picked up on it. The way that they built tension was through the music, and it kind of reminded me of Magnolia. Paul Thomas Anderson, Magnolia.
Right.
You watch it. I think when do the music stop in that movie?
Like after the first act, it might be halfway through the movie.
It's just music playing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I'm like, what's going on? But they do a really good job of building tension. I feel like he took a page out of PTA's book.
Yeah.
Also, I love the way he told the story from Robert Downey Jr.'s perspective.
Right.
It reminded me of Amadeus. I did do research. Christopher Nolan did say he had Cillian Murphy watch that movie because that's the type of relationship him and Robert Downey
had. Right.
Yeah. So like in the black and white, Robert Downey was telling it from his story.
Yeah.
And in the color, it was from the perspective of the main character. So those two things I really
it's that ability to go that deep into the story and the characters and the world.
Right. We can go deeper, but for the sake of time and this isn't a podcast. We're just we're just some movie heads and we're just having a conversation with you guys, but we can definitely go deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a good experience. The cinematography was amazing. The color in the black and white, the IMAX, the whole
IMAX in general
experience.
Yeah, DP'd by Hoyt van Hoytema.
He's
He's my favorite. He's my favorite DP
is the
for sure.
GOAT. Shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Shooting on IMAX isn't easy either.
Exactly right.
That camera
it's
looked
probably
big.
a science, basically.
That camera looked like you're holding the old-fashioned TV up on your shoulder.
Exactly.
And you're like, go get this shot.
Exactly.
So you gotta be in shape. You gotta have this core strength all worked out.
Yep.
So it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch it the second time when they get it on streaming, so I can really dig in and take notes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
I think that's it for Oppenheimer. Barbieheimer weekend definitely lived up to everything. It was a great movie. Go see it, man. Go see it.
Definitely go see it.